Every week, this rich guy throws a huge party at his mansion. These parties cost a lot of money, but guess what? They're totally free. Famous people, important people, they all just show up without being invited. Everyone gets lost in the music, the food, the lights. Then one day, a guy named Nick gets a special invitation. He's invited to the big party at the mansion. When Nick arrives, wow, the place looks like a palace. Nobody knows where this rich guy came from. Nobody knows how he made his money. Some people say he's a spy. Some say he's a killer. But the truth? Nobody really knows. Every night, this rich man stands alone on his dock, staring at a green light across the water, like he's reaching for something just out of reach. The very next day, Nick gets that invitation. At the party, he finally meets the man himself, Jay Gatsby. Nick expected some old guy with a beard, but Gatsby is young and really handsome. Nick is shocked. Before the party ends, Gatsby walks up to Nick and says, "I'd love to take you to lunch tomorrow, just the two of us." Nick doesn't understand why, but he says yes. The next morning, Gatsby shows up in a fancy custom car. On the way to the city, Gatsby tells Nick his story. "I grew up in the Midwest, from a wealthy family. I studied at Oxford. My parents are gone now. After I got my inheritance, I traveled all over Europe. Then the war came." He even shows Nick his medals and his graduation photo. Nick finds it a little too perfect, too rehearsed, but he keeps quiet. When they enter New York City, Gatsby is driving way too fast. A police officer spots them and chases after them. But Gatsby doesn't stop. He just holds up his card. And the officer? He stops chasing and waves them through. Gatsby explains, "I once did a favor for the police chief. We've been friends ever since." Then Gatsby takes Nick to what looks like a regular barber shop, but behind it, there's a secret underground bar. And here, Nick sees just how powerful Gatsby really is. Gang bosses, police chiefs, even senators, they all know Gatsby. They all respect him. Then Nick spots a familiar face. It's Tom. Tom was Nick's classmate at Yale. He's also married to Nick's cousin, Daisy. They should be close, but Tom is arrogant, rude, and kind of a jerk. Nick introduces them, but Gatsby, he clearly doesn't like Tom, not one bit. He shakes hands, then turns and walks away, just like that. Nick is confused. Why did Gatsby invite him? And why does Gatsby hate Tom? Well, the answer has everything to do with who Nick is. It's the 1920s in America. The golden age. The stock market is booming. Everyone wants to get rich. Nick moves to New York to work on Wall Street. He rents a small house in West Egg, right next to Gatsby's enormous mansion. And across the bay, that's East Egg, where the old money lives. That's where Daisy lives, with her husband Tom. When Daisy hears Nick is nearby, she invites him over. After all these years, Daisy is even more beautiful than Nick remembered. She moves like a dream, her laugh like music, her eyes bright and alive. Daisy is excited to see Nick. She even tries to set him up with her friend Jordan. Jordan is a famous golf star, but she's not really interested in Nick. Daisy's marriage? It looks perfect from the outside, but it's not. Tom has been cheating on her for years, and Daisy knows it. But Daisy believes a woman should just be beautiful and smile and enjoy the money. Nick doesn't agree, but he respects her choice. That night, when Nick gets home, he sees someone standing on the dock outside the mansion. It's Gatsby, staring across the water at that green light. And the very next day, Nick gets the invitation to the party. At the party, he meets Gatsby face to face, and he runs into Jordan too. But before they can talk much, Gatsby pulls Jordan aside into his private study. When Jordan comes back out, she's excited. "I finally know why he invited you," she tells Nick, "but I can't tell you yet." The next day, after their lunch, Gatsby tells Nick Jordan will explain everything. That night, Nick finds Jordan and demands answers. And finally, the truth comes out. Gatsby did all of this for Daisy. 5 years ago, Jordan accidentally saw Daisy fall in love with a young soldier. That soldier was Gatsby. They promised themselves to each other. They were going to be together forever. But then World War I broke out. Gatsby had to go fight in Europe. Daisy waited and waited, but after the war ended, Gatsby just disappeared. No letters, no calls, nothing. That's when Tom showed up, rich, charming, from a good family. He gave Daisy a necklace worth $350,000, and Daisy said yes. But on the morning of the wedding, Daisy got a letter from Gatsby. Nobody knows what it said, but Daisy wanted to call the whole thing off. Her mother talked her out of it, and Daisy walked down the aisle. The marriage was never happy. Tom cheated on her within the first week. Everyone found out. It was a big scandal. But Daisy had no choice. She just cried alone. Now everything is different. Gatsby is back, and he still loves Daisy. He bought the mansion right across the water from her house. All those parties every week, he was hoping Daisy would just show up one day. She never did. So now he's counting on Nick. Nick is moved by Gatsby's story. It's really, really romantic. But Daisy is a married woman. Nick isn't sure what to do. He walks home and finds Gatsby standing right outside his door, waiting. Gatsby is trying to look calm, but Nick can see it. He's nervous. And that look, that's what does it. Nick makes up his mind. He agrees to invite Daisy over for tea. Gatsby is stunned, then panicked. Then, like a little kid, he gets excited and scared at the same time. To say thank you, Gatsby offers Nick inside stock tips, easy money. But Nick says no. This is a small favor. I don't need anything in return. Gatsby can't believe it. He's never met anyone who didn't want something back. The next morning, Nick wakes up to noise outside. Gatsby sent a whole crew to clean up Nick's yard. It looks brand new. And on the day of the meeting, Gatsby sends flowers, so many flowers, butterfly orchids everywhere. Nick's little house looks like a garden. As the time gets closer, Gatsby gets more and more nervous. He almost wants to run away. Then Daisy's car arrives. Nick runs out to meet her. Inside, Gatsby is pacing back and forth. Where should he stand? How should he look? But when Daisy walks through the door, Gatsby is gone. Nick is confused. Then, knock, knock, knock. He opens the door, and there's Gatsby, soaking wet. He felt weird just waiting inside, so he went outside in the rain and walked around to make it look like he just happened to stop by. He prepared for weeks, and this is how he shows up. Daisy is a little excited too. She smiles and says, "I'm certainly glad to see you again." And Gatsby, poor Gatsby, stumbles and stutters and finally manages to say, "Suddenly glad to see you as well." Then silence. 15 whole minutes of silence. The awkward tension is so thick, Nick can barely breathe. He makes up an excuse and tries to sneak out, but Gatsby panics and follows him. He whispers to Nick, "This is a mistake, a total mistake." Nick looks him in the eye and says, "She's quiet because she's nervous too, just like you." That hits Gatsby hard. He thought she was ignoring him. He takes a deep breath and walks back inside. Nick stands under a tree in the rain for half an hour. When he finally goes back in, Gatsby and Daisy are deep in conversation, glowing. They look exactly like they did 5 years ago. Nick tries to make some noise to get their attention. They don't even notice. Their eyes are only for each other. After the rain stops, Gatsby invites them both to see his mansion. When they arrive at the front gates, Daisy gasps. It's magnificent, golden and glowing like a dream. But she doesn't know. Only her being there makes it shine like that. For the first time, Gatsby truly enjoys what he has. They swim in the ocean. They drink on a yacht. They watch the sunset together. To make Daisy laugh, Gatsby opens his whole wardrobe and throws out shirt after shirt, silk, linen, cotton, every color. Daisy is thrilled. She laughs and spins around in the falling shirts. But then she curls up on the bed and starts to cry. Gatsby sits beside her and gently asks, "What's wrong?" She says, "I've just never seen such beautiful shirts before." But that's not really it. She loves this life. She loves being with Gatsby. But she's trapped in a life she can't escape. Gatsby holds her and looks across at that green light. It doesn't fascinate him anymore because Daisy is right here. After that, Gatsby starts inviting Daisy to his parties all the time, and Tom notices. He doesn't know where Gatsby's money comes from, so he assumes the worst. He's just a bootlegger, Tom sneers. This was prohibition. Selling alcohol was illegal and dangerous. A lot of people got very rich doing it. But then Gatsby introduces Tom to a powerful senator, and Tom is humiliated right in front of everyone. Gatsby then asks Daisy to dance. Tom has to just smile and nod. He doesn't stay long. He disappears with some actress. And Gatsby takes Daisy outside. In the dark, Daisy suddenly says, "Let's just run away together tonight." But Gatsby says no. He wants Daisy to divorce Tom, to do things the right way, to start fresh, together, officially. Daisy hesitates. Then there's a sudden problem at the party, and Gatsby has to leave. He tells Daisy to wait for him, but by the time he's free, the party is over and Daisy is gone. Later, Nick finds Gatsby alone. His eyes are wet. "I built all of this for her," Gatsby says quietly, "and she doesn't even care. She wanted to run away instead of stay." Nick tells him, "You can't go back to the past." But Gatsby shakes his head. He believes if Daisy just tells Tom she never loved him, everything can go back to how it was. Days go by. Gatsby stops throwing parties. He spends all his time with Daisy. Daisy keeps coming back. She's falling deeper and deeper. Finally, Daisy says, "I'm ready. I'll tell Tom the truth." But she wants Nick and Jordan to be there too, so all 5 of them meet at Tom's house. But when the moment comes, Daisy freezes. She suggests going into town to cool off. Nervous, she tries to light a cigarette and drops the lighter. Gatsby picks it up. Their hands touch for just a second. And in that moment, Daisy knows. She loves Gatsby, not Tom. Tom sees it too, and he knows something is very wrong. He suggests they all drive into the city together. Then he makes a show of switching cars with Gatsby. So Tom takes Nick and Jordan in Gatsby's yellow sports car. Gatsby takes Daisy in Tom's blue car. They're both speeding, racing each other without saying a word. At a gas station, Tom stops to fill up. The owner is an old friend. The owner pulls Tom aside. "I'm moving out west soon. I just found out my wife has been having an affair." Tom goes pale. He's the one having the affair with this man's wife. Now he's about to lose Daisy, and his girlfriend is leaving too. He hits rock bottom. They all make it to an apartment in the city. Tom is angry. He starts picking a fight with Gatsby. He questions Gatsby's education. Gatsby shuts him down perfectly. So Tom just goes straight for it. "What exactly do you and Daisy want?" Daisy won't speak, so Gatsby speaks for her. "Daisy and I fell in love 5 years ago. I had nothing back then. I left to build something so I could give her a real life. And while I was gone, you took advantage of her. She was lonely. She was pressured. That's how you got her." Then Gatsby looks at Daisy and says, Tell him you never loved him." Tom laughs. 5 years ago is none of my business. I didn't know Daisy then. But when she married me, she loved me, and she still does." Gatsby stares at Daisy. "Say it, just say it. Then it's all over." Under the pressure, Daisy finally whispers, "I never loved him." But her voice is shaking, unsure. Tom leans in, soft voice, gentle eyes. "Not even once? Not even when I carried you so your shoes wouldn't get wet? Yes, I've made mistakes, but those meant nothing. You're the only one I've ever truly loved." Daisy looks at Tom, remembering. She can't say it with her whole heart. She can't really say she never loved him. And Tom plays his final card. He's done his research. Gatsby isn't from a rich Midwestern family. He made his fortune selling illegal alcohol and manipulating the stock market. Gatsby's face goes white. He doesn't explode. He stays calm, but his voice is cold. "People like you, the only thing worth respecting is how much money you have. Well, I have just as much as you now. We're equals." Tom shakes his head. "You may have money, you may have power, but you don't have our blood. No matter what you buy or what you fake, you'll never change where you came from." That cuts deep, really, really deep. Gatsby snaps. He turns and lunges at the people around him, wild, out of control. Everyone in the room is shocked. Daisy stares. This isn't the Gatsby she thought she knew. Gatsby has lost. Everything fell apart. And Daisy, she's pulling away. Later, Tom is gracious in victory. He lets Daisy ride back with Gatsby. He drives back with Nick and Jordan. But as they pass the gas station, they see something terrible. The owner's wife has been hit by a car, a yellow car. Everyone realizes that's Gatsby's car. The woman was killed instantly. And Gatsby and Daisy, they drove away. When Tom arrives at the scene, the gas station owner thinks it was Tom who did it. Tom quickly explains and tells the owner it was Gatsby's car. The owner's mind goes to the worst. He thinks Gatsby killed his wife on purpose to keep the affair secret. And Tom, he doesn't correct him. He even leans into it. Gatsby is a bad man, Tom says quietly. He's capable of anything. The owner grabs his gun. He swears revenge. Back at Tom's mansion, Nick finds Gatsby hiding in the bushes outside. Hit and run. Nick is disgusted. But in their argument, Gatsby lets something slip. Nick finds out the truth. Daisy was driving. Daisy asked to drive because she was upset and needed to calm down. Then the woman ran out, too fast, too sudden. Gatsby grabbed the wheel, but it was too late. Nick is stunned. He tells Gatsby to go home and rest. But Gatsby won't move. He's worried about Daisy. He thinks Tom might hurt her. So he stays outside all night, just watching over her. Nick goes inside to check on Daisy. But what does he see? Tom, gently comforting Daisy, whispering to her. They're already making plans to leave town together. And outside, Gatsby is carefully washing the car, still believing Daisy will call him in the morning, still ready to give up everything and run away with her. Nick can't bring himself to tell Gatsby the truth. He just says, "You need to leave. Everyone thinks you killed someone." Gatsby won't listen. He asks Nick to stay until sunrise. And that night, Gatsby finally tells the real story. His real name is James Gatz. His parents were poor farmers. At 16, he ran away from home to change his life. By chance, he rescued a millionaire out on the water. He spent 5 years traveling the world with that man. The millionaire taught him how to be a gentleman, how to carry himself, how to survive. But when the man died, Gatsby lost everything again. Then he joined the army, and there he met Daisy. His uniform hid where he came from. They fell in love instantly. But Gatsby knew the truth. A poor nobody like him could never end up with a girl like Daisy. So after the war, he went out into the world. He worked and fought and struggled. All for her. Everything he has is for Daisy. Without her, none of it means anything. Nick listens to all of this, and he sees something in Gatsby that he's never seen in anyone else. Hope. Real, pure hope. So as the sun begins to rise and they say goodbye, Nick looks at Gatsby and says quietly, "You're better than all of them. All of them put together aren't worth as much as you." They smile, they wave. The morning light is soft and warm. That this is their last goodbye. Because while Gatsby waits by the phone, praying for Daisy's call, the gas station owner sneaks into the mansion with a gun. The phone rings. Gatsby's face lights up. A single shot, right through the heart. He falls slowly, his eyes drifting to that green light across the water. Daisy's name on his lips. But the call wasn't from Daisy. It was Nick. Daisy never called. When she heard what happened, she didn't even flinch. She packed her bags and left town with Tom. Just like that. Soon, Gatsby's name is all over the newspapers. He gets blamed for Tom's reputation. He gets blamed for Daisy's hit and run. The real guilty ones? they're already gone, living their perfect lives somewhere else. Nick is furious, but there's nothing he can do. He calls every person who ever came to those parties. He begs them to come to the funeral. Not one person shows up. That magnificent mansion, once filled with laughter and music and 1,000 guests, now so quiet you can hear your own heartbeat. After the funeral, Nick leaves New York. This city he once dreamed about now makes him sick. He saw through it, the greed, the fake smiles, the emptiness. Before he goes, he walks one last time to Gatsby's dock. He thinks about that man who stood here every night, staring at a green light, reaching for a dream that felt so close he could almost touch it. But the dream was already in the past.